On this rainy day, let's warm ourselves up with some Torah. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that probably has come to the mind of a lot of us. At some point in our career, we start questioning whether we are going in the right direction. We might think maybe I should go into some other business, some other career. These are normal things that we encounter at many stages of our career, whether when we start, in the middle, even once we're successful. The human condition is such we're always questioning whether we're on the right path. So this question was asked to the Rebbe by many different people. So today I'm going to look at a few letters and just see the answers, and from there we can see a theme in terms of the Lubavitcher Rebbe's approach to this type of situation. So here's in the first letter here, someone asked the Rebbe quite clearly, should I leave this business and open a new business? So the Rebbe answers, you asked about the question of entering a new business. Since your present business is connected with seasonal trade, there are months in the year when there's not so much to do. Nevertheless, it is my opinion that you should not give up your present business, partly for the reason mentioned in your letter, and especially because this business has served as your channel of parnasa being livelihood, which enabled you and your wife to bring up your children in the Jewish way of life and to make steady advancement in this direction, as I've had occasion to note since my own contact with you. So the Rebbe is mentioning something very important, is that we should never forget how we made our first dollar. And we should also never forget that it is God who gives us our livelihood. And if he has put us in this place wherever we are, it means that that's where he wants us to be. And since it is God that gives us our livelihood and allows us to make the living that we do, we don't need to add new strategies and try to out-clever God by trying to find new businesses from where the blessing of a new livelihood will come. Because where we are now is a great vessel in itself to receive the blessings of having the income that we should have. So rather the Rebbe says, stay in your business, and as you'll see soon, actually expand it. And this justifies the expectation that you will continue to advance along this road and go from strength to strength, meaning to grow and expand. However, while not giving up your present business, it may be advisable to enter into some sideline. So yeah, you can go into some side projects that are still related to your business, to which you could apply yourself during the slack months that are slow, and perhaps even other times, so long as it does not interfere with your present business. May God help you in your present business with ever-growing successes and with an increase in livelihood in general, so that you and your wife could, with peace of mind and happiness, enjoy much nachas, satisfaction, that's what it means, from each other and from the whole family. So from this letter, you can see that the Rebbe is saying that one should not so easily give up on what they're doing, because that is what God has given them as the vessel through which their livelihood should come. So here in another place, there's also another person who asked a question whether they should close up a business and start something else. So here's what the Rebbe's answers. With regard to the plans that you mentioned, the one of selling the assets of the business and starting it in a small way should be ruled out completely, for one should try to enlarge one's business and not to reduce it. The Rebbe is a very big fan of always going big in every aspect, especially spiritually, in terms of increasing your connection to God, learning more Torah, doing more mitzvot, reaching out to other Jews to get them closer to God. This is what the Rebbe is all about. And in the same way, he also has this attitude of going big also in business, so that you can use the benefits of a strong livelihood to fund your other projects, to fund giving charity to others, to fund activities as outreach that require you taking time off from your work to go in and help another fellow Jew. So anyway, the Rebbe continues, this should leave the first two alternatives that you mentioned, that is either to make your partnership in the corporation or in order to attract more capital, or to continue the partnership as is, but in a larger and improved manner. So the Rebbe is clearly saying that one should increase rather than reduce one's business undertaking, especially if you feel that a certain business is stagnating. Just look at it from a new angle. That was in another letter. He said the same thing, that when you see certain slowness coming into your business, or whether your career seems to stagnate, whatever it might be, just look at it from a new angle. Find another way. And he says time and again that one should increase and fix times to learn Torah as a way to open up those channels of abundance, the channels of material abundance that come through livelihood. There's no better way than to fix daily times that to learning Torah. When I say fixed, meaning that do it at specific times, whether it is in the morning before you go to work, dedicate whatever it is, a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 50 minutes, 60 minutes, and then again at night, dedicate a few minutes to learning Torah, and also obviously to use some of those blessings that you receive from your livelihood into charity and other worthy mitzvot and endeavors. And then here is another final letter, which is titled Stick to Your Business Expertise. And the Rebbe writes a very long letter about different topics, but at the very end he speaks, I therefore venture to express the thought that perhaps it may be wise at this point not to let your business interests in various areas exceed unduly. Meaning, don't start going in many directions. Oh, wow, maybe I should get into this real estate. Maybe I should go into this. Maybe I should do that. Maybe because my friend just went into artificial intelligence, I should go into that career. So the Rebbe continues, I'm certain that as a practical and experienced businessman, you do not make a business decision without first carefully weighing all the facts and getting the benefit of expert counseling and the like. And as stated above, I am confident that your undertakings and commitments as of now will be with atzlacha, with success. That's what it means. But it would seem to me that it would be good to avoid further distraction from your present business by new business propositions, especially since you have an accumulation of capital in which you're already involved and invested, and you already have the know-how and connections in your area of the business. So the Rebbe is saying you already have a whole network set up. Don't look on behind your shoulders on what someone else is doing. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. Don't let this natural inclination to want to do something else get the better of you and cause you to become distracted by what is your mission, what is your career mission. Because God has given you a vessel, a certain type of work, and that is the best place for you to be in. And even if you have this sometimes desire to do something else, it may be best to stay and stick to your expertise. So that is the message from the Rebbe about this type of challenge that we all find ourselves in, and we should always remember that that God provides for all of us, and to trust God. And then finally, I'll leave you with this final thought from the Rebbe about the idea of parnasa. And he says, surely you know how often our sages have impressed on us the importance of trust and confidence in God, bitachon, in order that we realize that all difficulties encountered in life are only trials and tests of a passing nature. To be sure, the question of parnasa, one's livelihood, is one of the most difficult tests. Nevertheless, God does not subject one to a greater test than he can withstand. Meaning that even if you experience challenges, there is already, the remedy is already embedded inside that challenge. Because who gave you that challenge? It's God who gave you that challenge. And you can overcome it, because if you have trust in God, you will overcome it. So God does not subject one to a greater test than can withstand. As our rabbis expressed, according to the camel, so is its load. So the very trust in God is a vessel and channel to receive God's blessings, apart from the fact that such confidence is good for one's health, disposition, and therefore is also a natural means to the desired end. All the more so, you have noticed an improvement in recent weeks by having this approach. This should serve as an encouraging sign and greatly strengthen your trust in God. No doubt you also remember the commentary of my father-in-law of saintly memory, who said, life is like a turning wheel. When a print on the wheel reaches the lowest degree, it is bound to turn upward again. And that's the message from the Rebbe, that these are only tests from God to see if you are trusting him fully, that you are remaining committed to your values, to increasing in Torah and mitzvot, and to know that God is only seeking your good. And these challenges that come to us, and especially are expressed in one's parnasa livelihood, are only to strengthen our connection and to bring us to a much greater position than we were beforehand, both materially and spiritually. So may we all surmount all these challenges and go from strength to strength.